What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today I'm going to break down a play from NCAA Football 06. It's out of the gun two-back slot formation, and it's called RB Crosses. I'm picking this play because I had a request from someone in the comments section asking me if I could break down an air raid type play. And when I'm thinking of the air raid, I think of, you know, the more common concepts, Y cross, mesh, stick, and what have you. But there's specific routes that you just see all the time in that offense. One of them being the cross route or the crossing route. That's why you see a lot of them called Y cross, H cross, so on and so forth. Another aspect of the air raid offense is you always see the halfbacks going out for a pass in those formations or in those plays. With RB crosses, you got all 5 skill players going out for a route, including 2 halfbacks. Now, this particular formation is, at least in Mike Leach's offense, the most popular non-4 wide receiver formation in the offense. Otherwise, you'll see a lot of 4 and 5 wide from the other air raid guys. So, as you see here, you notice at the bottom it says package. I have the twin halfback package put in. Normally, if anybody's trying to run this type of offense, they got a lot of speedy halfbacks that can catch. And in this case, you would want your top 2 halfbacks in this formation. So RB crosses, at default, is better as a right hash play. So the majority of the video is going to be on the right hash, but I'll show you some left hash stuff a little bit later. First thing we always like to do is break down the man coverages and how to beat those, and then we'll go into the zone stuff. We're going to select RB crosses. We can go to the 50-yard line so you can kind of get an idea of the yardage for every one of these routes. And here is the play. Now, technically, all 5 routes are pretty good against man, but we'll go through each one and look at the positives and negatives. First off, I always like to start off with cover 0, and that's your deep ball threat, wherever that's at. And as you can see here, we got a post route on the left. So that's my cover 0 beater. So when I see both safeties come up, I'm just going to tap the ball to him and let him make a jump ball play. Okay, pretty simple. Other than that, it's fair game with the rest of these, outside of maybe R1, the halfback to the right. But my number 2 man beater, when all else fails, the play is really designed to the crossing route, which is triangle. And as soon as he makes a clearance away from the line, I like to hold the button down and let him handle the rest. That is as hard as a throw as you can make. We can do that in one more time. Like I said, as soon as he gets kind of away from the offensive line, I like to throw it super hard to him and let him take care of the rest. My next read, if there's not a whole lot of traffic over the middle, I like to go to circle, the dig route. You can go right here, and boom, you're good to go. This halfback right here, number 40, I would, as of now, I wouldn't bother with it against man. I just don't think there's enough there. You already got 3 routes in your progression. He would be number 4. I just don't think it's worth it. The same with this halfback. He's going to be a zone beater later on. So, as of now, when it comes to man, you only need to bother with the 3 wide receivers. Okay? So now what we can do is go up against those coverages. So let's go back to practice time. Let's go past skeleton. We're going to select the play. And let's go up against a cover 0. Okay. As of now, okay, technically they kind of show us that they're going to go cover 0. So what we want to do, we want to just go over the top and just have a jump ball situation with our wide receiver. Do a little catch there. Just a drop due to the hit. We can try it again. Okay, yeah, it looks pretty obvious. You're going to go cover 0. We can go over the top. Now, if you don't feel comfortable making that throw, it's a good cover 0 beater. If you don't like it, by all means, feel free to hot route square to a go as such, and it's a little bit easier. Plus, he has a little bit more one-on-one situation with the corner as opposed to somebody coming over. It's up to you how you want to do that. Okay? Now, let's talk about cover 1 and cover 2. Nothing really changes between the two. We can go dog gold. A cover 1 is fine. So if you see anything but a cover 0, I like to go to the crosser and then maybe the dig. So we're going to snap the ball. I'm going to hold it to the crossing route, and he gets a solid 10 yards. Depending on the throw, the accuracy of it, and the speed of the receiver, you can get some really big gains off this route. Again, just another 10 yards. It's kind of hard to replicate an amazing play with this one, but you can't beat a solid 10 yards pretty much every time. You notice how the receiver always shields himself and puts himself between his defender and the ball. It's almost impossible to get this intercepted. The defender just struggles to get in front of it to make a play. I've never seen it get picked off before. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's highly unlikely. So we can do this again. Just, again, a solid 10 yards. Now, for whatever reason, if he's double-teamed or there's a little too much traffic over the middle with the linebacker or whatnot, then you can go to the dig route. So we can try this here. Not the best throw, but he was open enough. We could try it again. A little bit better. Picks up another solid 10 yards. That's the reason why I want it to be my third read, is because it's over the middle and there could be somebody lingering there. It's like if you are going up against a defense that has this guy spying or this guy spying, if there's just somebody just sitting here, it's probably not a good idea to go to the dig. That's why I said before I want you to wait until the crosser gets past the offensive line. Well, no wonder I don't have the offensive line out there. But I want you to wait till he gets past the offensive line a little bit, then you throw it to the crosser. Otherwise, the dig is a nice third option. And again, don't worry about the halfbacks for man. They're not really worth it. If you get down to the fourth option, then you could quickly throw it to one of those. But I doubt you'll ever get to that fourth read. Okay, now what we could quickly do, we can do cover 2. Like I said, it's no different than if you're going up against cover 1. Everything stays the same. If it's not cover 0, go to one of the other 2 receivers. That's decent separation there. You can go to him or you can go to the dig. Pretty simple. Okay, now let's talk about zone. We're going to go back to practice type. We're going to go offense only. Select RB crosses. Now let's look at this play. Now, there are technically 3 zone beaters. I'm going to show you a 4th one that I've been kind of playing around with and at the end of the video. But there are 3 definite ones you need to be aware of. The first one is if you have a center beater, a route that goes right above your center, if there's a big hole there, that's always my first read against zone. If not, then we'll go on forward. So, as you can tell here, we got one route that's going right above the center really quickly, and that is our crossing route. So, if I see a hole over the middle, I'm going to just go to him. I'm going to press the button and just let him make a play. We can do that one more time. Press is usually a little bit easier than a hold. Sometimes it's a hold. You can get it in there quicker. You just got to have better accuracy. But a press has always been good enough for me for these center beaters. And he's off to the races there, okay? If for whatever reason there's not a hole, your next read is your post route. Now, I love the backside post because technically you can hit it against cover 2, 3, and 4. It's a lot safer if you go up against cover 2. So we can pretend that this is a cover 2 beater. We'll wait till he makes his cut, and you hit it, throw it as hard as you can. You hold down the button. We can do that again. We can wait till he makes his cut, and he's off to the races. Now, your third read is this halfback right here. This is your number 1 halfback, technically. If all else fails, if you're feeling the heat, if you don't see a hole open over the middle, if it's a weird coverage you're not very familiar with at the top, just dump it to this guy and you'll pick up some okay yards. Nothing special, but it gets you out of a jam. It's just like a blitz beater. When in doubt, just dump it off to him if needed. Just a press of the button is all it takes. Okay, so now let's talk about attacking these coverages. We're going to go back to practice type. We're going to go back to normal. No, we're going to go past skeleton to make things a little bit easier for us. We're going to go back to presumed practice, RB crosses. Let's talk about the hole over the middle. That's always your first read. The easiest way for me to show you, I hope this will work, is go up against cover 4. You usually see a hole open in the middle over against cover 4. Sometimes if there's a particular blitz from the defense, it can leave a hole open over the middle. Otherwise, we can try cover 4. We see a hole over the middle as such. Let's break this one down. As soon as you snap it, look for a hole right up above your center. I see a humongous hole right here. So I'm just going to press or hold, it just kind of depends on what you want to do, to the crosser, and you get a decent game. Okay, we can try that one more time. Snap the ball. I see a hole. I'm going to throw it to him and let him get something out of it. It's easy yardage. It's very hard for that thing to get picked off as long as there's nobody open over the middle or cover in the middle. Fumble there, but you get the point. Okay, now let's talk about the next read, which is technically cover 2. Let's go up against cover 2. And when you snap the ball, if you see the two high safeties split, you can hold the button and you could give to that guy right there. And you saw how open he was. He just dropped the ball. But that's a great throw. It's a hold of the button. He just dropped it. So we can try that again. Let him make his cut. I'm just holding the ball or holding the button as hard as I can and let him make a play. Easy 15 yards. Now let's talk about cover 3. You could treat this as your cover 3 beater, but again, when in doubt, if you're feeling the heat or you're just not unsure about throwing to one of the other two guys over the middle, by all means, just dump it to your halfback and see if he can make some type of play. Sometimes you're going to get something like this where you may not get anything, but at least you got it out of the quarterback's hands, and you could do something possibly. Now, this particular play may not show it. If you can wait, you can have him go upfield a little bit if you're not feeling any pressure. Wait till he gets up the field, and then you get here a little bit, 10 yards or so. But if you're feeling the heat or something different, by all means, always have your finger on the L1 button, and that should bail you out more than anything else. Now, this is a cover 3. We can go back to that post route. Like I said, sometimes you can hit that post. Take a chance. If you really need the yardage, this is actually a good 3rd and long play because you got 3 deeper-ish routes. But if you see, if you've really got to get those 15 yards, just go with that guy right there if needed. Okay? Well, that kind of covers everything about this play. Now let's talk about the left hash version of it. There's no real difference except for 2 things. This is why I would rather you use this on the right hash than the left. When you use this on the left hash, you give up the ability to attack the backside post with by attacking cover 2. You just don't have that. Yes, you got that dig route, but it doesn't work as well. That and the 2 running backs, their roles switch. So in this case, you want to go to this guy against zone if needed, as opposed to the other guy. Okay, that's the only difference. Again, you just don't have the backside post on the strong side of the field to use against any zone coverage, and the roles reverse with the 2 halfbacks. You can still use it. You're just giving up an extra thing or 2 in the process. Now, let's talk about one little thing. Here's the fun part for me. Here's where I start to learn stuff, where I pick things up. Let's go back to RB crosses, and let's go up against cover 2 man, for example. Now, the one route that really hasn't helped us in this formation is this guy right here. I'd love to be able to use him a little bit better than what he's doing now. The best thing he's doing is moving the linebacker that's strictly ahead of him or whoever's covering him, gets him away from the middle of the field. Because as you can tell, this whole play is designed to really attack the middle of the field. But when he goes over to the flats, he takes his defender with him. One thing I've thought about doing is, what if you just motion him over? And then it's a good little out route. That's stuff like that you have to play around with. If you leave him as is it better? Maybe, maybe not. It just kind of depends on who his defender is, how quickly he gets away from the line and such, and it depends on who his defender is as well. They could be the strong safety who may have to run farther to go after the guy. To me, it looks like you may be better off motioning this guy over. And you got a decent little out route if needed. I know, it's just kind of up to you how you want to do it. But that's how you discover things in this game. Is little stuff like that. Now, let's talk about going up against zone with that guy. Let's go up against, we'll pick RB crosses. And we'll go cover 3. Let's do cover 4. That's fine. Now, if you've watched any of my play action stuff, whenever you do play action to the strong side of the field and you got like a flat read, sometimes it gets wide open against cover 3 and cover 4. this could kind of be no different. What if I motion this guy back over to the left? Does he get open on the strong side of the field? Look at that. He didn't. I mean, it was a bad throw, but look how open he was. That looked like an easy 10 yards almost. There was no chance for that defender to get to him. So we can try that again. We can go up against a cover 3 here in a minute. Then we can try a cover 2. Bring him all the way over. That wasn't that good of a throw either. But you kind of get what I'm saying here and how he could possibly get open. So let's try against a cover 3. Maybe it's a little bit better. Let's move him over. Not bad. Pick up about 4 yards. Again, that's just something to think about when you're moving guys around and such. What if I left him over there? The problem is if you leave him where he's at, there's just nothing really to work with there. He's not going to get much out of that. But try it. Against zone, man, move this guy over. Maybe something will work out. I don't think you'll ever have to go to this progression. But if you want to add it, hey, it adds just a little bit more to this play. So that's just something to think about. I'm trying to think, I don't know of a play where the strong safety will be on that guy against man, but that's another possibility. He'll have so much separation between him and his defender that he could get wide open regardless. So either way, hopefully you got something out of this play. There's a lot of depth to it. As you can see, it covers, I mean, it can attack any coverage, man, zone, and all 5 routes seem pretty useful, even for the one we just experimented with the guy we're motioning out. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.